This is Brannon Howse Live. Whether the issue is law, science, economics, history, family, social issues, education, religion, government, or national security, Brannon brings the issues of the day into clear focus through the lens of a Judeo-Christian worldview. And now, here is your host, Brannon Howse.
And welcome. Glad you are with us. Hope you had a great break over the 4th of July. We're glad to be back with you, well rested and ready to go for another big stretch here before we take another break. We try to maybe take a little bit of a break about every 4 weeks. Other than that, we broadcast pretty much 7 days a week here, as you guys know. And tonight, we have a very, very special guest. This is someone I've wanted to interview for many years, and I spent my time over the 4th of July several hours in a recliner reading this book. I picked it up at an estate sale. I was going to order it, and literally the next week I went to an estate sale. There it was. I went into the home of a man who had passed away. He was a Jewish gentleman, and the book actually in the front cover is signed by Steve Emerson. He signed this book for an event in the Memphis area, and I've been reading it. And folks, it was written in 2002, but I believe it's more relevant now than when he wrote it. This is so important for you to get this book, even if you have to pay $15, $20 for it as a used copy on Amazon, whatever you have to do, eBay. You should read this book. While I was reading this book over the weekend, I guess at one point I was talking out loud, and I said something, and my wife was in the other room. She said, "What'd you say?" And I said, "Oh, did I say that out loud?" She said, "Yep, what'd you say?" I said, "We're in big trouble." Well, folks, you guys know I did 10 one-hour shows on Hamas. Muslim Brotherhood started in 1928 by al-Banna. Then they come along with Hamas, 87. Council on American Islamic Relations in, I think, 1994, off the top of my head. 10 one-hour programs a few years ago with PowerPoint and pictures and illustrations. I'm pretty well-versed in this. You guys know my team, Usama Dakdok, who speaks Arabic and has taught me so much. Usama Dakdok, Sharam Hadian, and more. I'm pretty well versed in this topic. I wouldn't call myself an expert. I would call those guys, Steve's an expert, Usama, Sharam, but I'm pretty well versed in this. And I have to tell you, while I was reading this book over the 4th of July holiday, I realized we're in even bigger trouble than I thought we were. And I'm going to explain why. Actually, my guest will explain why. Again, I hope you'll get the book, American Jihad, subtitled The Terrorist Living Among Us. Steve he's considered one of the leading authorities on Islamic terrorist networks and extremist networks. His documentary by the title, Jihad in America, was on PBS. That came out in November of 1994. And again, his organization is investigativeproject.org, investigativeproject.org. We'll put it up under his name tonight. He joins us via the phone tonight, and we're really honored to have him with us. Steve, thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, it's a pleasure. You make it so easy to be with you. I can just sit back and say nothing, and my ex-wife will actually take me back maybe even.
Well, this book is got so much in it. There's no way we're going to get through it all, but we're going to try to get through a lot of it. I want to start with the very first page. This is the very first page, chapter 1. And what I find very fascinating, Steve, is that here you are, as you described, in Oklahoma City on Christmas Day, 1992. You're a staff reporter for CNN waiting to cover a pool reporter event related to, I guess, a pardon by President George Bush, H. Bush, related to Iran-Contra affair, Casper Weinberger. And there you are walking around on Christmas Day, I guess trying to find somewhere to eat, and you stumble upon something going on at the Oklahoma City Convention Center. And that changed your life. That changed your career, did it not?
Yeah, I didn't anticipate that it would at that time, but it certainly did, because I stumbled across, it was a cold day, obviously, on Christmas Day, and there were very few restaurants open. So I took my rented car and I passed the Oklahoma City Convention Center, and there I saw thousands of people dressed in Middle Eastern and Islamic garb, the long robe, the hijab. And my first instinct was that maybe they were making a movie and these were extras. And, I was sort of fascinated. And also, I was hungry. I thought maybe they were selling food. So I parked the car and I went inside the convention center, but they weren't making a movie. It turned out there was an Islamic convention.